All right, racers. Bow your head as I turn the mic over to our track chaplain, Lynn Garland, for the blessing on today's event.
Father, as we begin, we thank you for another day. May your wisdom guide us to accomplish the goals for this event. May our actions and attitudes be pleasing. Please watch over all the staff as they perform their jobs. Give each driver the strength that they need to pursue excellence. Keep everyone on these grounds safe and out of harm's way. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Lynn. Let's go racing. In the lanes, we should have new entrants right now. Our new entrants for no box, our new entrants for box door car. You should be in the lanes. If you're not, you're going to miss your hit. New entry Dragster. New entry Dragster to 8 and 9. New entry Dragster will take you to 8 and 9. And we might as well take our new entry juniors as well to lane 4. New entry juniors to lane 4. New entry Dragsters to 8 and 9, please.
Look at that gay car. Is that John Force? We got John Force in the staging lanes right now. He's in the Tesla. He got it. We are live. We'll put this up now. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go put this up here. When we got, yeah. They won't. They can't. Except for right now. Yeah, right here. I'll go put it up there as soon as we get a break. Oh, I think there's only 7 over there. Yeah.
All right. No box, blue and orange. No box, blue and orange. Lanes 8 and 9. No box, blue and orange. 8 and 9. Jace Deering, you are our bye. Jacer, you are the bye. No box, blue and orange. 8 and 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we start today's race, I want all you folks to take off your hats, face the flag for the playing of our national anthem. Here we go, first round action in our no box class, coming right out, right at you, right away here at Cordova Dragway. A couple silver machines towing the line as we speak. That's a GMC Sonoma over there in the Tower Spectator Lane, piloted by Tyler Weed, Dalton Beal in the split bumper Camaro. With about 300s in his back pocket, and Dalton might be in trouble. Sure enough, Tyler Weed with the win. 649 with a 7 on a 642. That 016 light went a long ways to getting the win for the Sonoma. Following his son down the track, this is Dan Beal in the 65 Le Mans. Taking him on, Malachi Paxton and his Mustang. Malachi here at the racetrack with us this year for the entire season for the first time. Good to see him out here for this 7K event. Red light start for Danny. And Malachi is going to take that easy victory and say thank you very much. Big Jim Peterson and his big Dodge pick-em-up truck. Evan began in the Pontiac Trans Am. Began owns him on the tree, and I think Big Jim is in some serious trouble. Sure enough, he breaks out trying to make up for what was a poor reaction time, and Began gets the win, 680 with a 1 on his 65. So he bagged it out at the stripe. He knew he had it covered. Tim Flynn, the Barracuda. Zach Lewis in the Camaro. And maybe it's deja vu, but I really think these two matched up yesterday. Same lanes, pretty early in the day, and here we are again. Chevrolet on Mopar. Looks like we have a little nitrous, some sort of nitrous pop, maybe fire from Zach Lewis as the exhaust kicked out there, and I think the car shut off. So I'm not sure if we got a problem or not. They're acting like there might be. That happens with these race cars from time to time, especially on nitrous-assisted cars. Actually, I don't think Zach has, but even on a regular race car, once in a while you hit the gas, pops through the carburetor, and you get a little fire. And boy, you'd hate to see something happen to that beautiful 68 Camaro. Sure, Zach's going to get that sorted out, pie back into the race, and he'll be here for second round. Tim Flynn gets the win in the Plymouth, 662 with an 8 on his 42. Brian Robinson and the S-Dime Silver Machine. Double O Doug, Dougie Lancaster, the Hellraiser Nova. Doug was ripping the tree yesterday for a couple rounds, and then he had suffered from premature acceleration. Robinson's got him today, though, and Doug's got some work to do. Winner goes to Brian Robinson, 682 with a 7 on the 80. As Dougie must not have had enough coffee this morning, a little tardy on his reaction time. Siobhan Warner over here by the tower, and it's notable that he's in the race today. He had a 005 package yesterday during yesterday's race. for a no box car. That is unbelievable. What a run by Siobhan. Tyler Barsma taking him on in the Oldsmobile. Barsma went rounds yesterday also. Siobhan pushes it a little hard. Tyler Barsma, perfect light. Trip zips for Tyler Barsma. And he gets the win. Our first perfect light of the day. Ed Frost, this 1969 SS Chevelle, and she is a beaut. Taking on Brandon Schmall out of Swissner, Iowa. Little black Mustang. So Chevelle on Mustang right here. Schmall with 300ths advantage. And sure enough, Brandon Schmall is going to get the win. 692 with a 1 on the 91. So Schmall's package in 046. Not bad for a no-box car. And that will be enough to get the job done here in round one. Bruce Hunter's in here today in his white S10. Hunter has had success in this truck over the years. Running against Steve Pifkin, who raced yesterday also in the 85 Dodge Daytona. For Hunter and Pifkin with a win. 676 with a 9 on the 674 ET. Box door car, blue and orange. Box door car, blue and orange to 6 and 7, please. Box door car, blue and orange to 6 and 7, please. Scotty Zingenhorn, the Corvette. Parker Zimmerman, the Firebird. Scotty has probably the worst light I've ever seen him have in that car. He must not have been paying attention. And Zimmerman with the win, 630 with an 8 on his 25. And I guarantee you, Scotty will not be keeping that time slip. It'll be lucky to make it back to his pits without being thrown to the ground in disgust. Brandon Loomis, the red S10. And Jace Deering in his Alter. Jace with a superior reaction time, and Jace with a win. 578 on his 75. Brando Carlson is in our event yesterday with his beautiful little Camaro against Taylor Schluter. Love the color on that S10 truck. Once again, box door car, 6 and 7, blue and orange. Box door car, 6 and 7, blue and orange. Win goes to Taylor Schluter, 687 with a 3 on the 86. 015 light for Taylor. Gave him the advantage right on the hit. Logan Westcott in the Tesla trying to do a top fuel burnout with that electric mobile. Just blows it past the line. Kind of has to back up and get it straightened out. Bobby Ince Jr. taking him on with a gasoline-powered big block Chevrolet Nova. Pretty similar reaction times. Win goes to Ince Jr. 599 with a 6 on his 99. 043 package for Bobby. The Big Z, Grant Zimmerman, the Zimmerman Racing Red Mustang. Runner out of East Peoria, Illinois. Taking on the Tangerine Dream, Tyler Brooks. Couple members of the Quack Pack facing off. Both had good lights. Grant with a win, 628 with a 2 on his 27. And here's Mike Clark. Clark family not able to make the program yesterday, here today. Good to see Mike's red, yellow, and white Monte Carlo lining up. And he's lining up against Brad Wheats in the Dodge 330. It's like somebody's got the advantage in mixing it up. Double breakout win for Clark. 653 with a 7. 653 with a 6, excuse me, on his 55. As Wheats took too much stripe and gets the loss. Our reigning track champion, Nathan Schrader, over here by the tower, his B-Wrench and S10. He was an assassin in this truck last year, could hardly be beat. Against his good buddy Brennan Wheats in the White Trash Vega. Goes red, Nate with a win. That's not like Brennan to do that. Usually pretty dependable on the tree, cuts good lights. Just a little quick on the trigger finger today. We'll see if he buys back into round 2. I assume he will. The price to buy back is extremely minimal considering we got $7,000 to pay out for the winner today, $2,000 for the runner-up. I mean, runner-up money is more than you make at some tracks for winning a race. Pretty similar Chevrolets coming to the line. One's a Malibu, and that's the bluish-purple car of Cole Robinson. The other, Ryan Robinson, in the big red Monte Carlo. And you can see how Chevrolet had the front ends of these cars fairly similar in the 80s. Made it easier to produce them. They could duplicate some parts, use them interchangeably on the Malibu and the Monte Carlo. But both make good race cars. Good race. Win goes to Ryan Robinson in the red Monte. 620 with a 9 on his 620. That looks like an 61 package for Ryan. And on we go, first round in our box door car action. That's PJ Mazuka in the Dodge. The Titan Electric running Dodge. Hannah Ince in the Burgundy Chevrolet S10. I think this is Hannah's third or fourth year running this little platform. Up until this year, she had it painted like gunmetal gray. Decided over the winter she wanted some color on her race truck. So they went with this beautiful burgundy color, and boy, it turned out fantastic. Looked like she's having a few issues getting the truck into the right gear, but she's got it. I seen her in there working that thing. Hannah, 1/10 of a second advantage on the hit. And the win, 6:22 with an 8 on her 6:19. As Mazuka will not be happy with his reaction time. Couple of beautiful race cars on the line right now. That 69 Nova is Bobby Bush, excuse me. Robbie Bush. Boy, I had those letters completely 180 degrees off. Robbie Bush in that beautiful 69 Nova. Tom Roshan. Probably Roshan. I'm going to say Roshan. Tom Roshan in the 74 Plymouth Duster. Roshan with an advantage on the hit. He gets the win, 556 with a 1 on the 553 dial. Here's a car I talked about all day yesterday. Could not figure out what it was, and the gentleman was kind enough to come to the tower and tell me we're looking at a Pontiac Acadia, 65 Pontiac Acadia in the Tower Lane. They only made these cars for 3 years, only made them in Canada, and that's where he went to get this car. Looks a lot like a Chevy Nova, is not. Taking on Rick Van Wyhoo in the Beretta. See that rare Pontiac again as red light for Van Wyhoo. Ends his first round experience. Dragsters, blue and orange to 8 and 9. Dragsters, blue and orange to 8 and 9. John Kruko showed up with a hood for a 67 Chevelle yesterday, but was having some issues keeping it fastened. So he's racing without it. We'd rather have him do that than have the thing fly off on halfway down the track. Brian Barton in the Cutlass. .002 light for Kruko in the Chevelle. 001 red for Barton ends it. So we're going to see the hoodless Chevelle in second round. 66 Dodge Coronet here on the Tower Lane. Just a beautiful, beautiful race car. First time I've seen this car belongs to Mike Walsh out of Fairfax, Iowa. Running against John Freeborn, Super Gas Corvette based on a 58. Wash 001 red, that's 2 of those in a row now. About as close as you can get to a perfect light and not get it and lose the race too. So Freeborn with that Super Gas Corvette gets the win. 497 with a 5 on his 495. Charlie Hama, the middle-aged crazy Oldsmobile. This is what the Cutlass looked like when he got to the 90s, and they made good-looking race cars. A lot of pro stocks in this year range of Cutlass. Him out of Davenport. Mike Van Sant, his Super Gas Corvette. Van Sant, red light, Hama win. About an 85 Camaro. We got a couple of these here this weekend. Siobhan Warner pilots one pretty similar to this car. This one belongs to, raced by Doug Cruz out of Rockford. Taking on Tyler Stein in the 72 Chevelle. 001 light for Cruz. Yowza. But he breaks out. He wins anyway. Double breakout race as Stein went by him. Took way too much stripe, and Dougie Cruz gets the win. Bobby Ent Sr. in his Chevelle. Racing his 67 for many years here at the racetrack. Just a beautiful car, and yes, that is all paint. There's no decals on there. It's a masterpiece in painting sitting on the line. James Halverson taking him on. Halverson red, perfect light for Bobby Ent Sr. Trip zips, and that's the second one we've had today.
I know what he's doing.
Blue and orange dragsters 8 and 9. Blue and orange dragsters 8 and 9. Todd Marsden, the S10 Cod Cap in the 1970 Chevelle. Marsden was going rounds yesterday when Mother Nature interrupted our festivities. Wheels up for Cap. 002 light for Cap. Marsden 009. Wowza. Win goes to the Chevelle. 590 with a 6 on his 87. That was a heck of a drag race. It's decided by 0.02 of a second at the stripe. Bobby Marquis, piloting Steve, her husband's Orange and Nova today. She's usually in her dragster. They're switching things up. Steve standing behind her, watching intently. Taking on this yellow Cutlass. For Bobby 002 for the Cutlass. They got a drag race. Bobby Marquis with the win. 579 with a 1 on the 78. 007 light for Bob. Good way to start out the day racing. Aaron Mitchell out here today with his 62 Chevrolet Impala bubble top. Had a good friend of mine in Fulton, Illinois that had this car in his shop in the after building of his shop for many years, intending on building it into something. Aaron was able to talk him out of it and turned it into a race car. And if you're thinking, well, why did he cut up a 62 Impala bubble top? He really didn't. Wasn't a heck of a lot of this car left. So they did what they could with it, and now it is a race car, and a good-looking one at that. Taking on Storm and Norman Wheats in the 65 Dodge Corvette. 006 light for Norm. And he gets the win, 596 with a 7 on his 96. That gives Norman an 013 package. That's the best one in our of the day so far. So Norm here to play. Go to our dragster class. Don't have names on either of these guys. We'll watch the car with Scrappy Doo on the side go several rounds yesterday. Do 012 red, and the dragster in the tower lane is going to get the victory. This is Brady Wolf in his turbocharged small black machine. And Pat McGlynn in the yellow Death. Brady with a tough customer here. Pat is the 4-time box champion and our class box class champion here at Cordova. And what I stumbled to say was he's won this class 4 years in a row now with that yellow digger. So he's a hitter. But Brady's won his share of races also in the Turbomobile. Pat with about 200ths advantage. Double breakout win for Pat McGlynn, 493 with a 5 on his 96. Rob McGee on a Pleasant Hill, Iowa. In the tower lane. Kaylee Cannon taking him on. Kaylee won a couple of rounds yesterday also. Kaylee won another round as Rob lights up the old red eye. 012 red for Rob, and Kaylee with that victory. She ends up going 513 with a 2 on her 511. Kenny Barsama with some good luck racing yesterday also in that orange digger out of Fulton. Running against Caleb Biard. Yard Transport Dragster. The careful staging process goes on. These race cars want to be exactly where they're used to in the staging beams so they can cut the best light possible. Couple of good reaction times. Kenny with a bit of an advantage. Double breakout win. Kenny Barsma 5:05 with an 8 on the 5:06. Mitch Melkert, the Black Digger. Jarrett Kreese, the Black Digger. Jarrett being in that Berkey's spectator lane, and Mitch over here in the Freedom Motorsports Tower side. With this much coin on the line, you're going to see some careful staging processes. Probably going to see a few head games going on out there. .002 light for Kreese, and he gets the win. Breakout run for Melkert. Jared Kreese, 472 with a 4 on his 472. 006 package for Jared Kreese. Yes, that was a good one. Rick Verkler, the Verk in the Black Dig. Brian Millum out of Lawndale, taking him on. Breakout run for Millum. Verkler with the win, 456 with a zip on his 011 reaction time. Little 011 package for Rick, and a good way to start his day. Josh Goyke, the beautiful blue dragster. Ava Glenn, using every color she could find at the shop to paint hers. She's running over in that Berkey's lane. Both these cars were dialed 474, both break out. The win goes to Josh Goyke as Glenn takes more stripe than Goyke does, and she gets the loss. Shorty Dragster with the twin turbos, I think it's twin turbos, is Ben Wolf. Wolf family go turbocharged in their dragsters. And as you can see with where Ben's sitting, that pushes the driver a few feet forward on that dragster to get all that tubing in there for his turbocharged setup. Buddy Dreadlights with a Turbomobile, and this black digger we have in the Freedom Motorsports side will get the victory just like that. Ed the Bowsman in that tower lane now. Ed won first round yesterday, bowed out second round. And it looks like our dragster in that Freedom Berkey side, the spectator side, has broken, so Ed will get a competition bye, which he'll use for information purposes, I guarantee it. Yes, he didn't get a time trial today. He's coming out racing right away, so he'll try and tighten up to that 456 dial just as much as he can. Ends up breaking out 453 with an 8 on 56, so that tells me he put it to the floor and kept it there, as a lot of these racers leave some room in their dial to play the line. Couple big time burnouts with these two diggers. Putting some fresh rubber on the track. Juniors, blue and orange. Juniors, blue and orange to 4. Juniors, blue and orange to lane 4. This is your call. That's Ted Cannon in the maroon machine. He was a guy who went 003 package yesterday. What a run by Ted. Tony Mangiarakma taking him on. Tony over here challenging my linguistic skills with his last name. Can't even hardly say linguistic. And he'll come back around and challenge me again as Cannon goes with a red light. Tony with that victory. Kevin Verkler. Strangely enough, the other guy we had with a 003 package yesterday had 2 of them. Kevin was rolling in that race yesterday. I felt sorry for his opponents. I think he had a great shot at getting a long ways and winning some good money. And we'll see what happens today. Jay Allen taking him on in the Union Electric Contractors machine. No sooner talk Kevin up and he gives us his worst reaction time of the weekend. So Jay Allen is going to get the win in a double breakout race. That just goes to show you even the best can have a bad race, bad light at times. It's one of our T-buckets here. Got a couple of these guys with T-bucket on the side of their dragster. This is the black one. The other one has some color to it. Broke this car yesterday and when he did his burnout. Got it fixed overnight. He's out here again today. Running against local boy Brandon Phillips out of Fulton in the navy blue digger. And T-Bucket again has issues with his dragster, as Brandon's going to get an easy win there. He bagged it out at the line because he knew he had him covered. And we definitely appreciate T-Bucket pulling over just as soon as he came to the side of the track. We advise that for all you racers. You're mixing it up out there, having some issues. Pull over just as soon as you safely can. Save our racing surface from cleanup time. And hopefully we don't have that ahead of us right now. I don't think so. We'll see. Looks like he's refired the car and he's driving it off the track. And I believe we're going right back to racing. Juniors blue and orange, you've been called. Juniors blue and orange to lane 4. Couple local boys on the line, faced each other before, facing each other today in a big buck race. That's Jake Stansberry. Right by the tower, Anthony Lane over in that spectator side. Anthony gets maximum I want to say coverage, but that's not the word I'm looking for. He gets the most out of his dragsters of anybody I know. He had a camouflage machine that he ran for about 12, 13 years. Sold that finally, went to this. He's run this for about 5 or 6 years now. And with great success as he gets the win there, Stansberry with the red light. Tony Pontello, the black machine. Taylor Stein. Got some yellow highlights going on there. Both injected big block Chevrolets. Stein with a nice 004 light, double breakout win, Taylor Stein. 544 with a 5 on the 545 ET. The Auto Tech Digger belongs to Zach Halverson, taking on Eric Pavicic. The Pavicic Racing Green Machine. Breakout win for Pavicic. Halverson owned him on the tree, but took too much stripe, and Eric with the win. Pretty sure this is Carla Pontello, and I am correct over here in the Freedom Motorsports lane out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Thank the Pontellos for traveling down to Illinois for today's big 7K event, taking on a Jim Glenn. A lot of long distance travelers for yesterday's race, today's race, all chasing that big check. .001 light for Glenn, and he will get the victory. 485 with a 3 on the 82. 024 package for Jim Glenn, and that gets it done. Justin Reeves over here in the orange machine did not race yesterday, out here today, chasing the check. He is a local boy, runs our weekly box series here in Bracket Points. Won a race with this digger just about a month ago, taking on Bobby Ince Sr. in his dragster. Ince was piloting his multicolored Chevelle earlier, now in the dragster, so he's double dealing today. Nice lights by both of them. 002 for Bob, 005 for Justin. The win to Justin Reeves. 451 with an 8 on the 451. That's an 013 package for Justin. No box doubles to the lanes. No box doubles to 8 and 9. Trooper Dan Lassard is River City's engineering dragster. I think he's number 5 in points. Out here today chasing a check. And that's Steve Marquis in Bobby's dragster. So these two just swapped vehicles for the day for something different, just to keep things interesting. Let's see how Steve does in a digger. I don't know if he's ever done it in a dragster. 017 red for Steve. And Trooper Dan goes 011 on his light, 498 with a 6 on his run. So Bobby with a little more luck with the vehicle swap than Steve had. But hopefully we'll see Steve buy back and give it another shot. Our no box doubles 8 and 9. No box doubles 8 and 9. Jay Steering, you do have the buy. No box doubles to 8 and 9. First round action, our junior all run also chasing a big check. $700 on the line for these kids, and they are kids, most of them. And that's a sizable amount to put in the old savings account. Looks like Ruby Clark coming up here in the tower lane. And taking on James Full, spectator side. These two have done battle many times over the years, know each other's tendencies well, and at some point it comes down to who clicks off the better reaction time. Ruby been racing since she was about 7 years old. Red light start for full, and Ruby is going to get the win. I want to remind everybody, buybacks will be at the office. Remind everybody, buybacks will be at the office. $50 for big cars, $20 for juniors. And buybacks will roll right into everybody else's second round. We're not just going to run buybacks against buybacks. We're going to roll them into second round to race everywhere, just like the 777s do when they're here at Cordova. Mason McGlynn, her dad, putting her in. Chloe McGlynn, her dad, putting her in. A couple of cousins side by side. A couple of brothers crew chiefing. Chloe with a better reaction time. Double breakout win for Chloe McGlynn. 794 with a 7 on the 96. And once again, the brothers McGlynn with two more of their kids. This is Maddie in the tower lane. And PJ in that spectator side. Trying awful hard to get PJ to bring his pizza over to where I was sitting at the bar last night. He wasn't silly enough to do it, so I didn't get none. Maddie with about 500ths advantage. Win for Maddie McGlynn, 796 with an 8 on her 793. Taylor Crownhart in the tower lane where she likes to be. Well, we got a chance. It is Taylor's 18th birthday today. So Taylor Crownhart, I've got McGlynn on the mind here. Taylor Crownhart, 18 years old and a diamond on the rough. Looking to give herself an excellent birthday present with a win. Melanie Casal out of North Liberty, Iowa, here visiting us today, taking on Taylor. Red light start for Melanie. Taylor with a nice 017 light, and she's going to get this victory. Casey Eller, the blue digger, and Jillian Foll in the purple one. Casey in at 794 and Jill at 768. Jill with her usual good reaction time, and she gets the win. 772 with a 4 on her 68. That young lady hard to beat in a junior dragster. Landon Cook, the Motion Race Works white digger. Oliver Goike in the Flamed Machine. Good to have the Goike family here racing this weekend. Dad in his big digger. Oliver in the little one. Nice light by Oliver. As a novice junior, he cuts an 024 light. That is sweet for a novice junior racer, and he gets the win because of it. 1269 with an 8 for Oliver on his 65. Jake Wheats in the orange and black machine wasn't able to race yesterday, here today in competition. No box doubles, you should be in 8 and 9. No box doubles, you should be 8 and 9. Car double 6 and 7. Box door car double 6 and 7, please. Win to Jag. 892 on his 890. Jaggy be happy about that. Kimmy Verkler, Grandpa putting her into the beams. Taking on Carson Weed in the Hang Sturfers Lubricants Dragster. Cammy's dial 803, Carson at 889, so we're going to get about an 800s handicap head start on the hit. Once again, we'll take our box door car doubles to 6 and 7. Box door car doubles to 6 and 7. Sweet old 14 light for Cameron. Cammy breaks out. Win Carson Weed, 892 with a 7 on the 889 ET. Zach Lewis in the yellow Camaro did not get down the track on his first try. Hit the gas as he engaged the trans brake. Motor popped through the carburetor. He had a small fire and had to shut her down. But he's back giving it another shot, and Taking on Bruce in his white S10. 003 light for Bruce. And this just ain't Zach's day as Bruce gets the win. 587 with a 5 on his 85 dial. 003 light for Bruce. 023 pack. Danny Beal giving it a shot here again as I think he went red on his first hit. Scott Zingenhorn also did not go red, but just didn't cut the kind of light I'm used to Scotty running. And Zingenhorn has some kind of mechanical issues going on there. I wondered about that in first round, and he's got some gremlins in the Corvette. And Beal was going to get the easy win. Scotty usually deadly on the tree, and he had his worst reaction time first round I've seen him have in a long time. And I wondered then if maybe something was wrong with his Chevrolet. Turns out there is. Dalton Beal following his dad down the racetrack in the split bumper Camaro against Tyler Weed and the GMC Sonoma. Dalton out here piloting his big brother Drew's Chevrolet. So better nothing happen to that car or he's got to answer to Big Bro. Tyler with a 10th advantage on the hit. Tyler Weed with the win, 644 with an 8 on his 42, and he did something there. Dalton, a good drag racer, does not lose first round often. Terry Hiller in the venerable Vega. Brandon Schmall, the Mustang. If you've seen Heller in his Vega before, that's because he's been down this racetrack in this car. Oh, I'd say on about 8,000 times, and I am not exaggerating. We did a poll a few years back, and he estimated he ran this car down this mile, about quarter mile, about 7,000 times, and that was 7 or 8 years ago we did that. So I'm going to add another 1,000 on there. To say he's a veteran racer is an understatement. Red light start for Schmall, and Terry's going to get that win. 672 with a 5 on his 72, so an 0-21 pack for Heller and the Chevrolet Vega. Brian Robinson, the S-Dime, and Tyler Barsima in the Oldsmobile. Good green light starts for both racers. And the win's going to go to Brian Robinson. 681 with a 2 on the 680 dial as Barsima gives back the stripe. Ooh. And loses that race by 7/1000ths of a second. I know Tyler a little bit. He will not be happy when he sees this slip. Brando Carlson, the Camaro. Parker Zimmerman, the Firebird. Both the Zimmerman boys here racing this weekend, Parker and Grant. Both lift the wheels in the air when they launch. Parker with a nice hit, but he breaks out. Brando Carlson, the winner, 564 with a 1 on the 564, 026 pack. Our first Tesla appearance. Well, no, I guess second Tesla appearance. Doubles 8 and 9. Dragster doubles 8 and 9. Dragster doubles 8 and 9. This is your call. Logan Westcott piloting the Tesla. Evan Begon in the Trans Am. Almost identical green light starts, and that motor noise you hear is not the Tesla. Logan breaks out in the Electromobile, so Evan with the win, 665 with a 5 on the 665. Ron Robinson, the red Monte Carlo. Cole Robinson in the blue Chevy Malibu. These two went head-to-head earlier today. Couple of local boys facing off. Ryan's at 619, Cole 639. Four light for Ryan, and he takes that to a win. 619 with a 5 on his 19. So that gives Ryan Robinson a 009 package. Good run for Ryan. Bobby Inch Jr., the black Nova. Grant Zimmerman in the red Mustang. This ought to be a heck of a drag race. These two young men are killers on the tree. Grant has won class championships with that red Ford. Grant does something he doesn't normally do, goes red, 001 red, not by far, but red enough, you might say. So Bobby Inch Jr. with a double breakout win. Jay Steering with the buy in the Adrian's Auto Altered. And I have trouble saying that every single time. Dragster doubles, you've been called. Dragster doubles, you have been called to the lanes. Dragster doubles, you should be on your way to 8 and 9. Out here today, the 69 Camaro, that beautiful 7 silver machine over there in the Berkey's Lane. John Kruko in the silver 67 Chevelle taking Clark on. Red light start for Clark. Hands the race to Kruko. Something about this color blue on this S10's got me marveling. I love it. Schluter piloting that particular Chevrolet S10 in her Chevrolet S10. Also beautiful, burgundy, Hannah Ince. So a couple S dimes on the line. .005 red for Ince. And Schluter with the victory. He runs it out the back door. 686 with a 9 on his 86. 021 package for Schluter. Tom Roshan, 74 Plymouth Duster, has raced this car for 48 years. I just don't think of these Dusters being that old, but they are, 1974. Taking on that beautiful 69 Nova. And Nova breaks out. Roshan gets the win, 555 with a 2, so an 040 package for Tom. Super Gas Corvette over here by the tower is Mike Van Sant. First time out in the track, did not win, but this is his double entry, so he's still got in the program. Siobhan Warner in the third gen Camaro. Siobhan with a 005 package yesterday in a no-box car. But Siobhan with a red light today as he pushes that tree too hard, and Van Sant with the Super Gas Corvette's going to get that. Been digging on this 66 Coronet for 2 days now. This is Mike Walsh. Beautiful example of a Chrysler product. And against Brian Barton in the Cutlass. Mike Walsh goes James Bond on us with a 007 light, and he takes that to a win. 674 2 with a 2 on a 672 dial. Been lusting after this 1970 Chevelle of Todd Capps for 2 days also. I'm a 70 Chevelle guy. And this is a fine example of a 1970. Good looking race car. I love that Cortez blue with the black stripes on it. Aaron Mitchell taking him on in the 62 Impala Bubble Top. Sponsored by Lane Automotive and Speed. Couple tremendous examples of Chevrolet racing on the line right now. 002 light for Mitchell. He straps it on Cap. And he gets the win. 614 with an 8 on is 612. Cap right there with a 587 with a 7 on his 587, but he gave it away on the reaction time. Margin of victory, 2 thousandths of a second. Bobby Marquis over in that orange Nova piloting her husband Steve's car today. Steve and her dragster switching it up a little bit. Doug Cruz in the Camaro. Doubles to lane 4, junior doubles to lane 4. Identical reaction times. Breakout run for Cruz. And Bobby's going to get the win. 580 with a 3 on the 579 dial. So Bobby doing well in the hubby's door car. James Halverson in the tower lane, Mike Schluter. James Halverson in the spectator lane, Mike Schluter in the tower lane, excuse-moi. For Schluter, Halverson gets the win, 588 with a 4 on his 86. 012 light. Solid run for Halverson. Junior doubles needed the lanes 4. Junior doubles needed a lane 4. Colin Estes, the Black Digger. Kaylee Cannon up here with her multicolored machine. Runner out of Winnebago, Illinois. Colin trying to bump that thing in as light as he can. And he does an excellent job because he's got an 010 light to show for it. Gets the win. 504 on his 502. 012 package for Colin Estes. Brady Wolf, the turbocharged dragster. I think earlier I said it was a small block. It is a big block, as most of these dragsters are. Very seldom do you see them small block power. They require that torque. Scott Frost over here by the tower. Seven red for Brady, couldn't wait as Frost had about almost a full second handicap head start. Hard to sit there sometime and watch your opponent head down the racetrack, and Brady wasn't able to do it. Scott Frost with a win, 562 with a 2 on his 60. Caleb Beard out of Astoria. I think that's Astoria, Illinois. Rick Livingston taking him on. lights, two good lights there, and but Rick's was better, and Rick's also the winner. 456 with a 6 on his 456. Wow. 010 package for Rick Livison as I trip and stammer up here today. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe not enough coffee. That's what I'm going to blame it on. This is Rob McGee by the tower. Brian Millam. Nope, that was the last race. That's Anthony Lane over by the spectator side and Zach Halverson by the tower. This ought to be a heck of a drag race. Both of these accomplished men in racing. Anthony has won class championships here at Cordova in the past. Still a hitter in that dragster. Zach Halverson traveled here specifically to win this race. 006 light for Lane, 013 for Halverson. Breakout run for Zach Halverson. Anthony Lane with the win, 493 with a 6. 012 package for Lane. Mitch Melkert, the all-black machine. Tyler Stein got a little yellow going on in his. Melkert with a win, 009 light, 495 on the 494. Jake Stansberry over here in the tower lane once again. Jake likes the tower lane. He's got her. Ed the Bowsman pushed to the spectator side. Ed likes the tower lane too, but he lost lane choice this time. So we'll see if Jake can make that work for him. Bowsman, a tough customer. Bowsman 010 red, Stansberry with a win. This is Josh Goyke, Tower Lane. Just saw him up here crew chiefing for his son, running a junior down the track. Taking on Steve Marquis and his wife Bobby's dragster. Talked about this earlier, how Steve and Bobby swapped race vehicles for the day, switching it up. Bobby doing well in Steve's door car. Steve needs a win here to keep up in the household competition. Goyke got him covered though, and Josh Goyke with a win, 478 on the 474. First time out in eliminations today, Verkler did not have a great light. He's over here in this tower lane. Probably the worst reaction time I've seen the man have in a couple of months. He's usually killer on the Christmas tree. Running his T-Bucket, one of our T-Buckets out here. One T-Bucket runs a black dragster, this one in a blue one. Out of Winnebago, Illinois. And you have to wonder if maybe that's where they started manufacturing Winnebagos, period, because I believe the town name is a lot older than the brand name. Similar green light starts. We got a race. Win goes to Kevin Verkler as T-Bucket breaks out. Verkler, 476 with a 2 on his 76. 018 package. Oh, yep. 017 package for Verkler, so that's more on the bubble that Kevin usually lives with. Kenny Barsom also a hitter here at the racetrack. Barsom has been running at this track for, oh my gosh, one right after another. I'm going to say at least 40 years. They are in the Cordova Hall of Fame as a racing family. Running against Tanner McDonald, the all-black machine, and it's on Tony Potello's race car, but it says Tanner. Double 008 light for Barsama, and he gets the win. 506 with the 4 on the 505. Carla Pontello. The multicolored machine in the Berkey's lane, taking on the Verk here. Rick Verkler, who just saw his brother go down the track in the same lane and get the win, so Rick got to keep up. There's a bit of a sibling rivalry going on here. I can attest to that. Light start for Pontello, and Rick will get the win. So a couple runs by Verklers, couple wins by Verklers. And here's our bye run. Mr. Mike Cottingham will take the solo.
box. This is your call for round 2, blue and orange to lanes 8 and 9. No box, round 2, blue and orange, lanes 8 and 9.
Thanks for Miss Teagan for making the call. Let's reemphasize that. No box. Blue and orange to 8 and 9. No box. Blue and orange to 8 and 9. You want to buy back in the second round? It will be at the gate, at the office. $50 for big cars, $20 for juniors. If you have not already done it, you need to be on your way. And just to reemphasize, buybacks will be rolled into second round with all the winners. And here we go, no box. Danny Beal, Zach Lewis. .20 light for Zach, and Dan might be in some trouble. Double breakout win, Zach Lewis, 622 with a 6 on the 624. And following his dad down the track, Dalton Beal in the split bumper silver Camaro. 1970 the flavor. Scotty Zingenhorn in a Corvette. And that looks like about a 78. 78, 79s, 77s looked a lot alike. So, but within those 3 years, I believe that Corvette falls. But Scott with a red light and Dalton with a win. Here comes our lone Tesla in today's event. Setzer is not here, which is unusual for Chris. He does not miss many races with his Tesla, but the electro car represented today by Logan Westcott, taking on Tyler Weed in the GMC. Now, if you doubt how fast these Teslas are, take a look at this car. It will run sixes in the 8th mile, high sixes, which means it should run high nines, low tens in the quarter mile, and that's a street-driven Tesla. Oh, some issues for Logan. He didn't get it to launch. Something happened there, which is unusual considering how simple them things are mechanically, but lost concentration, hard to say what happened there, but Tyler Weed with the win. Carlson, Camaro, Brennan Wheats in the Vega. 09 red for Brennan, and that will end his round as Brendo gets the win. Couple of Mopar products coming to the line. This is a Barracuda. 66, I believe, is the flavor. Tim Flynn is the pilot. Brad Wheats in his Dodge 330, Polara Dodge 330, Dodge Polara 330. Talking to Brad yesterday, getting the lowdown on these cars, as I wasn't aware of how they did it, but they had a 330, a Dodge 440, and a Dodge 500. Red light start for Flynn and the Cuda, and Wheats will get the win. Growing up with Chevrolets, I just wasn't quite as aware of the Dodge products as I should have been. So it's always good to ask questions, and these racers are more than willing to talk about their cars. Here's Siobhan Warner, the contractor, in that 85 Camaro, taking on Tyler Barsima, about an 88 Cutlass. Light for Barsima. He's figuring that car out. Double breakout win for Warner, though, as Barsima takes too much stripe. Got a lot of S10s here this weekend. Man, oh man. I don't know if we got 10, but it's in the neighborhood. This red one here, driven by Brandon Loomis, taking on Double O Doug Lancaster. door car, 6 and 7, blue and orange. Box door car, blue and orange to 6 and 7. And we got a win for Doug Lancaster. Breakout run for Brandon Lewis. Lancaster goes 593 with an 8 on his 93, 059 light, 067 package for Dougie. Once again, box door car, blue and orange. Box door car, blue and orange. I shouldn't have to keep telling you the lanes, but I do. 6 and 7, you've been there for 2 days. Brucey Huntner out of Morrison, Illinois. Steve Pifkin out of East Moline. Pifkin in the Daytona. Hunter in the S10. Yeah. Little 003 light for Hunter, and Pifkin might be in trouble. He is 589 with a 1 on a 585 for Brucey as he gets a win. This is the big Z over there, Grant Zimmerman in the Red Death. Boy, for a couple years at this racetrack, this man in this car could not be beat. Went all the way to California right on behalf of the IHRA and raced in a national race in California with this car. Brian Robinson in the S10. Breakout run for Robinson. Zimmerman with the victory. He goes 628 on the 27046 package. Mike Clark, Monte Carlo. Brian Robinson, Monte Carlo. Brian's is a bit older, though. That's about a 78, as Clark's is a 85, 87, 88. Clark with a 006 red, and Robinson with the victory. Paxton in the Mustang. Evan began Trans Am. and began with the win. 0:20 his reaction time. Junior in the Nova, Parker Zimmerman. Mid-80s Firebird. Like about an 84 to an 86, something in that neighborhood. Have to ask Parker sometime. A lot of cars repeated body styles for 3-4 years, and makes it a little tough on us announcers to figure out what exactly I'm looking at. Win for Parker Zimmerman, 625 with a 5 on the 625 dial. Comes Big Jim Peterson in his big Dodge pickup truck. He's got 2 of these that he races. He races this red one the most. But I have seen the other one, which I believe is blue, running against Taylor Schluter in his blue S10. Almost identical green light starts. Breakout run for Peterson. Taylor Schluter gets that win. 687 with a 9 on the 687. We got some nice little packages rolling up here in no box. Tough to do in a no box car. Nobody has topped Siobhan's 005 pack in a no box car yesterday yet. But we've had a lot of 20s. Brandon Schmoll in the Mustang, Jace Deering in the Altered. Here, folks, almost identical launches. Win goes to Brandon Schmoll, and he takes Deering out, which is something to do. It's something tough to do. 690 with a 1 for Schmoll, 021 package, like I spoke of just a few minutes ago. Pretty typical what it takes to win a round in our no box class. Cole Robinson and his blue Malibu just put this car together over the winter. Bought it as a roller off of Ray Nueve. Ray Nueve campaigned this same race car here at the racetrack for several years. Robinson installing his own motor transmission combination out here racing with the car. Tyler Brooks in the orange Monte Carlo. For Robinson, Brooks with the victory, 690 with a 1 on the 88. Nate Schrader to the B-Wrench in S10, Terry Heller in the Vega. This ought to be a heck of a drag race. I've heard it said before, old age and treachery against youth and enthusiasm, and we got it right here, right now. Terry a little long in the tooth, you might say, but he's been racing many, many years, so he's the old age and treachery guy. Whereas as Nader is a young man yet, don't even think he's hit 30. Dragsters, blue and orange to 8 and 9. Dragsters, blue and orange to 8 and 9, please. Heller takes the young man out, and that's doing something. Nathan is the track champion here at Cordova. Terry Heller just put him on the trailer. 675 with a 0 on the 672 dial, as Nate had the worst light of the weekend for him, I believe, and that cost him the race. Dragster blue and green, 8 and 9. Dragster blue and green, 8 and 9. One coming at you here on the line. The maroon door car, Brian Barton. The maroon door truck, Hannah Ince. Barton with great success in that Oldsmobile in our Buick, Olds, and Pontiac event we have every year at the racetrack. He's won that race repeatedly with the same race car. Out here to see today if he can cash a big check. Hannah with the same idea. Tree too hard, 004 red for her, and Barton with the victory. Couple of visitors here at the racetrack this weekend chasing that money. Coming in line right now. That Super Gas 58 Corvette belongs to and is driven by John Freeborn, with John Kruko behind the wheel of the Chevelle. Kruko, big time red light, wowza. I'm not even going to say that. He's going to hate that time slip. And John Freeborn gets that victory. 497 with a 6 on his 95-002 light. Here's that Pontiac Asteria. 65 Pontiac Asteria. Looks like a Chevy 2 by the tower here. This gentleman piloting this car, Colin Estes, drove all the way to Canada to purchase this car. And I gotta believe, I've been doing this job for a lot of years, and this is the first time I have ever seen a Pontiac Asteria. So I'm enjoying this. Mike Van Zandt in the Super Gas Corvette. Win for the Pontiac Asteria. 595 with a 6 on the 94. (1974) dustpan, Tom Roshen out of Waterloo, Iowa. 1970 Chevelle, Todd Kapp. It's a little Plymouth on Chevrolet matchup right here. Roshen sponsored by Steamboat Garden. He takes the Chevelle out, 555 with a 7 on his 555. 023 pack for Tom. Aaron Mitchell been over here in the tower lane most of the day, I believe, with the bubble top Impala. And it's been working for him. Rick Van Wyhoo in the True Truckin' Beretta. Mitchell with the win, 614 with a 6 on the 612 ET. Charlie Hamill, the middle-aged crazy Cutlass by the Tower, the proprietor of Digital Delay out of Davenport, Iowa. He manufactures a lot of the electronic ET boards you see on these race cars. Also delay boxes, that's his forte. Running against Mark Clark in the 69 Camaro. Z28. Lights. Win for Hama, 492 with a 6 on the 88. Margin of victory, 1/100th of a second at the stripe. Think about that, folks. 1/100th of a second was all that was between those cars when they hit the finish line, and that's what Charlie won that race by. About the only thing you can do in 1/100th of a second is lose or win a drag race. Doug Cruz in the Camaro, Robbie Bush, the Nova. Bush has got about 4/10 in his back, 4/100ths in his back pocket, but it doesn't work for him as Cruz takes the stripe, takes the win. Doug Cruz, 661 with an 8 on his 661 dial. As Bush falls off to a 668 on his 663 ET and doesn't win that round. And here is Bobby Marquis up here with the Orange Deuce again, doing quite well in her husband's race car against Mike Walsh in the 66 Coronet. Mike has owned this car, this Coronet, for 46 years. Cuts an 010 light with it as Bobby does not have her best. It cost her the race. Mike Walsh, 675 with a 6 on the 73. Seen this 72 Chevelle at the racetrack a few times over the years. Good looking race car. She's clean and she's straight, and it belongs to Tyler Stein out of Taylorville, Illinois. Juniors, blue and orange. Juniors, blue and orange to 4. Juniors, blue and orange to 4. Mike Schluter in the Oldsmobile by the Tower. Trip zips for Schluter. Perfect light. He gets the win. 653 with the 7. That is our third perfect light of the day. We had 6 of them yesterday in limited action. Almost got through 3 rounds of action. We had 6 perfect lights before the rains came. We've had 3 already today. Todd Marsden, perfectly capable of doing the same thing in this little S10 truck. Longtime warrior here at Cordova. PJ Mazuka in that spectator side. Excellent reaction times. Win goes to Mazuka, 557 with a 9 on his 557. That gives him an 015 package. And that will get the job done. Here's Scrappy Doo in his dragster. And Scrappy Doo got his work cut out for him this time. Pat McGlynn in that killer yellow digger. Reigning box champion, box class champion in that yellow dragster. Won this class 4 times in a row, the box class, I should say. To say he is a hitter is understatement. So Scrappy Doo gonna have to lay down the run of his life to take Patrick out. 001 light for Scrap. He's trying. Pat McGlynn with the win. 496 on his 95. That gives him an 020 package. And that was a good drag race. 0.06 of a second margin of victory for McGlynn. Here's another hitter, Kevin Verkler. You get up against him, get up against Pat, and you got your work cut out for you. Jarrett Kreese doing his best to take Verkler out. Kreese earlier had a 006 package in Dragster, which is the best of the day. So 006 pack for Kreese earlier, best of the day, 006, and we can do better than that. I know we can. As we had 003s, 005s, 004s yesterday. And as we get deeper into the rounds, I anticipate it getting tighter and tighter. Verkler in at 476, Kreese at 473. Should it be an imperceptible launch between the two? I mean, it means they come off the line the same. 004 light for Kreese, 019 for Kev. Win to Jarrett Kreese. He takes Verkler out. 473 with an 8 on the 73. 012 package. So Kreese is on his game. That's 2 excellent runs for Jarrett Kreese, and he is laying down the law out there and showing the other dragsters what's going to have to be done. Blue and green, juniors blue and green, lane 4. Let's have you. Ed the Bowsman, spectator's side. A little bit of old age and treachery going on there. Runs a concrete and cement business over in Comanche, Iowa. Running against Rob McGee out of Pleasant Hill, Iowa. Visitor here this weekend. Chasing the check. Ed fully capable of killing it on the race on the Christmas tree, and he does just that. 005 light for Ed. And he takes that to a win. 459 on his 453. I believe Ed is in his 70s now, still out here enjoying drag racing, still killing it on the tree. That just shows you that it's not true that the older men and women do not hit the racing tree, hit the Christmas tree as hard as the young men do. That is just not true. Rick Livingston, Black Digger, Kaylee Cannon, taking them on in the Berkey side. Livingston with the advantage on the hit. Gets the win, 459 on the 56. Boys coming up here. That's Kenny Barsama in the orange machine, and Bobby Ince Sr. of Ince Family Towing, his business out of Kewanee, in the blue machine. Ince Sr. had his multicolored Chevelle out yesterday, running the dragster today. And I have seen Ince Sr. put down some killer runs, so if he does it here, he's going to give Kenny a race. Kenny does him a favor in red lights, and Bobby Ince Sr. will get that victory. Couple guys that have run each other quite often. That's Brady Wolf in the turbocharged big block machine. Rick Verkler over here by the tower in the all black one. If you want to go drag racing, you can go talk to Rick here. He's had this car for sale this summer. Don't know for sure if he's serious about that or if he's just playing around with the idea. Brady with a red light, Rick with the win. Tony Mangiarakma over here by the tower. Once again, challenging my linguistic skills by going rounds. Taking on Brian Millum. Good green light starts. Win goes to Tony Mangiarakma, 494 with a 7 on his 494. That's an 018 package for Tony. We go with Justin Reeves with one of the fastest dragsters we have here on the property this weekend. Regularly runs quick 8 events with this very same car. Here chasing the check today. Ava Glenn taking him on in that Berkey's Lane. .006 light for Reeves, and he'll get the win. 454, the 4 on the 451. 36 pack for Justin. Couple of beautiful dragsters towing the line right now. That's Steve Marquis in his wife Bobby's car in the Berkey's Lane, taking on Josh Goyke. Steve's been all over the planet on his reaction times with the dragster. Let's see if he can settle in. For Steve, 018, and Goyke goes red. So Steven going to get another hit. Get that much more comfortable in that digger. Jake Stansberry by the tower. And Jay Allen in that Berkey's Farm Store lane. And when I say the tower, that's our Freedom Motorsports lane. Ellsbury with 300s on the hit, and he gets the win, 468 with a 6 on the 65. Couple long distance visitors chasing the check here this weekend. Mitch Melkert, Freedom Motorsports side, and T-Bucket over there in the Berkey's lane. T-Bucket in the green machine, which has been running great, has another one that's black, and that has not been. Hasn't been able to get down the track with that car, but this one has been reliable for him. See if he can take out Mitch. He does just that as Melkert red lights. T-Bucket out the back door, 457 on to 459. Brandon Phillips in the navy blue digger from right down the road in Fulton, Illinois. Taking out the visitor, Zach Halverson from out of state in the Auto Tech machine. Halverson with about Phillips, I should say, with about an 8/10 handicap head start. 006 light Halverson, 002 for Brandon. Good race, Brandon. Phillips with the win, 534 with a 5 on his 533 dial. Mike Cottenham had the bye last round. Has to earn it this time. And he is over here in the Freedom Motorsports side, taking on Caleb Beard. Beard racing out of Astoria, Illinois. Cottingham, Griffin, Indiana. Not sure what Cottingham was looking at, but it wasn't the tree as he cuts a terrible light. Caleb Beard with the win, 483 on the 70. Not like Mike either. He has been putting up some nice reaction times this weekend. Didn't do it that time. Anthony Lane over here in the tower. Freedom Motorsports side, Tyler Stein, Berkey's lane. Taylor's got his work cut out for him. Anthony has been going rounds and taking names today. And Anthony gets that victory, 493 with the 3 on his 493. 015 package for Anthony. Carlo Pontello Berkey's Lane, Scott Frost, Freedom Motorsports side. Good to have the Pontellos here this weekend chasing that check. They show up for the big races here at Cordova, which is what this is. No box doubles to 8 and 9. No box doubles to 8 and 9, please. Double breakout win for Carla Pontello. 451 with a 3 on her 452. Trooper Dan Lassard is River City's engineering digger. Yes, and Trooper Dan is a trooper. Member of the police force. Races here on a weekly basis in our box class. I believe he sits number 5 in points right now. Taking on Tom Gibson out of Stegon, Illinois. Dan's piloted a door car for many, many years. Was given a dragster to race as a favor for a couple of runs by Joel Smith. Loved it so much he went out and got his own. And he's racing this year. Headlight start for Gibson, and Trooper Dan gets that win.
Getting ready to come in the water. Juniors. Safety copies.
Box doubles, 8 and 9. No box doubles, 8 and 9. Next round action in our junior all-run coming at ya. Chloe McGlynn by the tower. James Full, Berkey's Lane. Chloe in that Freedom Motorsports side. Both these racers, the young lady Chloe, the young man James, have faced each other multiple times before, as they are both in our Super Junior program here, Cordova Dragway. Chloe in at 794 and James at 790. Red light start for Chloe, and that decides it right there. James Full, 793, the 1 on the 790 dial. Ruby Clark, Tower Lane. PJ McGlynn in the spectator side. Green light starts for both of them, pretty similar. Ruby with a win, 790 with a 9 on her 85. Here comes the birthday girl, Taylor Crownhart, the diamond in the rough. Newly minted 18-year-old. Trying to give herself a birthday present with a win here today, running against Frankie McGlynn. Couple young ladies side by side, ready to do battle. Oh no, Francis with the red light and Taylor with the victory, so she advances. Comes a young lady who's been on quite a roll here lately in our Super Junior class, and this is a junior all run, so she faced supers and novice. This is Jillian Full, Freedom Motorsports Lane in that purple and orange machine. Landon Cook in the white Motion Raceworks Junior. Once again, Jill with an 030 light. She does that like it's nothing. Breakout win, Jillian Full, 770 with an 8 on the 771 as Cook took too much stripe. This is Carson McDonald in the Freedom Motorsports Lane. Got a name on this young man, thank goodness. He's been running some rounds here today, and we hate to not be able to identify the racer. Melanie Castle, North Liberty, Iowa, Keperke's Farm Store side. Carson with a sweet little 015 light. And he gets the win. Melanie breaks out, trying to make up for a less than stellar reaction time. 807 with a 1 on the 805 for McDonald. Maddie McGlynn, Tower Lane. Carson Weed, spectator side. Carson likes that spectator lane over in the Burke East side. He's been there a lot the last 2 days. The Maddie's a veteran of racing here at Cordova, been on both sides of this racetrack multiple times, so I'm thinking she's just as comfortable tower side as she would be on the spectator side. Pretty similar green light starts. Maddie breaks out, win to Carson Weed, 895 with a 3 on the 892. Casey Eller in the blue Dragster. Box door car double, 6 and 7. Box door car double, 6 and 7, your call. Mason McGlynn over here in the Freedom Motorsports Lane taking on Casey. Mason's getting better on her reaction times. I'm not sure it's good enough to take out Casey. And it's not. Casey Eller with the win, 8005 on the 799. Oliver Goyke in the flame machine. He set his dragster on fire, standing still. Taking on Cammie Verkler, Cameron out of Donahue, Iowa. Red light start for Cam. Really tough to sit there and wait and watch your opponent go down the racetrack. Oliver had an 012 light nonetheless. He was going to make it hard on Cameron. But she had about a 4-second wait, handicap wait for Oliver, and couldn't quite do it. A little no box action coming at you. These two have matched up before this weekend and going to battle again. Dan Beal in the Le Mans. Zach Lewis in the Camaro. For Beal, Zach Lewis with a win, and now we got Aquafina coming out of the sky here. Slight chance of this good today. Weatherman, as usual, wrong. But as bright as the skies are, I don't anticipate this lasting very long or having a big impact. Radar saying we got about 20 minutes of this. Not raining terribly hard. Yesterday we got popped hard about this same time, and it rained hard for a good 5 minutes. Hopefully today not the same. So we are on hold temporarily as we wait for the skies to clear. Heath Burge out on the track with something that looks slow. It's a pretty slow-looking car. And I don't think it has a real motor in it either. Ladies up in the tower venturing the guess that maybe it's ran out of gas. I want to thank everybody for coming out to our Independence Day 7K event here today on this Sunday afternoon. And it is afternoon. Trying to start something kind of special here at Cordova with these $7,000 to win races. So if you like what we're doing here, and I know you like the purse because that's why you're here, 2,000 runner-up, that is a heck of a check just to runner-up here today. We'd hope that you would pass the word that Cordova does a fantastic job on these big money races because we're going to continue to try to put these on as long as they make us a little bit of money. So we need all the car count we can get for these big buck races to make it work. So if you got buddies out there that were on the fence about racing this weekend, tell them what a great facility we have, great race we're putting on. Not unlike the 777s. But we thank all of you who came out here today. And it looks like the rain is already tapering off. Little sunshine would help us out. Let's see if it breaks. Illinois State Championships here, July 19th and 20. $8K is the purse to win that thing. Not sure how we're dividing everything up yet. I haven't seen the flyer, but that's more money than we're giving away today, so that ought to interest all of you. What that's going to be eventually is a 3-race series at 3 different tracks, but we're kicking it off at Cordova this year as a single race. The Illinois State Championships, July 19th and 20th here at Cordova Dragway. $8K on the line. That same weekend, July 19th, 6-time UFC world champion Randy Cotier is going to have a motorcycle and Jeep run, you might say. Booze cruise, whatever you want to call it. But they're going to do a run between 6 different venues, ride stops, starting at the Whiskey Stop to the Riverside Grill to the Wild Rose Casino, making a stop here at the Strip Bar here in Cordova, heading to the Rams River House, and then ending up at the Whiskey Stop. So if you want to meet Randy Cotier, that would be the weekend to do it, as he will be making a stop at the Strip Bar here in Cordova July 19th during our Illinois State Championships event. Noticed last night that we have a couple items up for raffle from Randy Cotier in the Strip Bar right now. A signed photograph and one of his UFC fighting gloves. Pretty cool stuff, as Randy is a 6-time champion in the UFC. Also, something cool to talk to Randy about would be his pro mod. He is running a pro mod these days after he's retired from the UFC fighting. So we hope we get a chance to maybe talk to him that week and ask him about his race car. The Illinois State Championships here at Cordova, July 19th and 20th. Like the rain is peeling up here, beginning to end. Has ended. We got a nice wet track to show for it, though, and not a lot of sunshine to help us out. We will not quit today. We are going to try to drive this track, get back to racing, and that is directly from management. So as long as we see a chance to keep racing today, we're going to do it, and we will drive this track, get back to racing. It is going to take a little while, though, without the sun. Sunshine helped us out quite a bit yesterday in drying this track. We'd hoped it'd come out again today. We got a little bit. Let's see how much that helps. Just got the word, though, that we will need your help. All you racers out there, we're going to need your help. We will enlist, once again, racers to run in the Cordova 500 out there on the racetrack. I've been in it myself, which means your streetcar, truck, whatever you got, once we call you out, we'll need you to just do circular laps on the racing surface and help us dry it out so we can go back to racing. So if you got a car or truck and can help us out in the Cordova 500 out here on this track, we sure would appreciate it. Not yet. I will call you when the time comes. So we're working on it. The rain looks like it has stopped. And we're in the process of drying this track to get back to this Independence Day 7K event. Talked about this event just a little bit yesterday, and we're going to talk about it again just right now. Date night at the Drags here at Cordova Dragway. Friday, July 25th. Bring your significant other with you, and you both can race. Both race each other. For $45, you get dinner, a couples building experience, and couples therapy to go with it. Wow, for $45 therapy. Can't ask for more than that. Get a nice dinner, go racing here on the track with your significant other. Date night at the Drags here at Cordova Dragway. Don't miss it. A lot of other events that we do here I have seen tried before, but never this. So don't miss it. Date night at the Drags, Cordova Dragway.
Hey, Mike.
Ben Wolf, Pat McGlynn, Pete McGlynn, need you to the tower. Ben Wolf, Pat McGlynn, Pete McGlynn, need you to the tower, please. And you do have time.